Welcome to the scorecard, guys. This is the one we've been waiting for. Were United going to take their chance to put one foot in the Champions League for next season and put daylight between us and Aston Villa? Absolutely. 3-1. Let's see how the players got on. But, have your say on the player ratings. We're just going to do it honest, live, and right now. And then join me Tuesday night for the review show where we look at the game with less emotion. But this was a game full of emotion today, and I was more than happy with it. Danny straight in with the United boys. It's Carrick, better believe it's not schools. It's Carrick. Come on, boys. All the way to Champions League next year at this rate. This was the game where every time we've had this sort of opportunity this year, we stumbled, we've fallen, and I'm sorry, but first half was slow. Not as good as what we would normally do. Second half, though, we literally, I don't know if there was a rocket set off in the changing rooms, hand grenades, don't know what happened, but they came out all guns firing. And let's be fair, Cunha done his job on the left. Casemiro, I tell you what, how we're going to replace him? Better leave football before the football leaves him. Jamie Carragher, what were you smoking, mate? Because that guy is still producing. It's just giving him the right people around him. I think that's his 7th goal involvement, the most he's scored in one season at Man United. Controlled the midfield, fouled when he had to foul, played the right pass. And for me, up until about an hour into the game, probably was our man of the match. But then Bruno turns up, not only with one assist for Casemiro's, then he assists with another. And then I thought, oh my God, has he done it? And Sky Sports confirm it. No longer is David Beckham the top assist in one season for Man United. It is Bruno Fernandes by one now. 4 behind the actual all-time Premier League record, so we'll go get that next. And probably move clear of that the way he's playing. I have a lot to say about Bruno. I don't like the way he runs around headless, but when it comes to quality, that guy does nothing but deliver. And he does, on his day, lead the team by example. And today was that day. And I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Danny's straight in with a few here. Cunha was brilliant today. Euro excellent, and Big Ben, well, we will get on to Big Ben off the bench when we come into the player ratings. But yeah, give Cass a year. Effort. No, absolutely. Everyone's calling for giving Casemiro another year. It's this kind of thing our board would try and do, keep him on his big wages for an extra year, just so he don't have to spend 100 million. We know he needs replacing. That's for a different show. That's not for right now. Let's get into the player ratings. Let's start with the keeper, Lemons. Pulled off absolutely brilliant stop from Unana from point blank range, turned it over. Nothing he could do about the goal. Didn't really put a foot wrong for the whole game, so I'm going to give him a solid 7. Absolute solid 7. Good with his feet, stay calm as we expect now from him, and held it all together. Diego Dallo. Oh my God, Diego Dallo, what are you doing to us? At the back, absolute solid. Probably could have scored 2. Had the one in the first half, brings it down on his thigh and blazes it over the bar when he just needed to pass it into the corner. And then second half, gets in behind on that weird right back becoming striker run he makes. All he's got to do is nod it over the keeper. He misses the ball entirely, comes off his shoulder, and Martinez just takes an easy catch out the air. But all in all, Dallo done his job. I'd say 6. He gave the ball away a few times. First half, but it's all about his defending for me. I've always said that. Back 4, I don't really care what they do with the ball when we're moving forward, but he gives us a lot of energy. But as Danny has just put here in the chat, sick wasting energy on Dallo at this point. Yeah, well, I'm sick of him wasting his energy getting in those great positions and not having the ability to do it. Now, the question is, would Mazraoui have got there? Would Mazraoui have scored? We don't know. But I don't see how Dallo got his place back, but he did, and he didn't really put a foot wrong. Um, then let's move on to Lenny Yoro, who by far for this season, I think that had his best shirt in the best shirt, best game in his United shirt. You can tell we're happy. We start talking shit when we're happy. Best game in his United shirt, probably this season. I love the foul he got booked for in the second half, yanking someone down on the halfway line, stop the attack. I don't have a problem with that. It was never going to be a red card. He just got wrong-sided defender. Still certain things he needs to work on. But, he had a solid game, attacked the ball, cleared some good balls off. Great tackle in the box in the first half where he slides in, and I was dreading that I was going to see a hand in his body or something touch the ball. Great tackle, blocks that. Again, like I say, probably his best game. I'd probably give him a 6. Um, a lot of you probably would say 6.5, pushing 7, but for me, I think 6. He was a little bit wasteful in his passing opportunities. Played a few blind passes, which I would prefer he didn't do, but that's personal opinion. Then Harry, big old Harry, slab head at the back. Nothing was getting past him today. Any ball in the box, he pretty much made sure it was dealt with either by himself or again by Yoro. I thought their communication was key. Who was attacking, who was sweeping. Just trying to think. There was a few squeaky moments right near the end of the game. Picked up a yellow card for dropping the player outside. I think it was Rodgers, which was a sensible thing to do. Why back off into your box? Foul him outside, mate, put the cross in from an awkward angle. So I think Harry Maguire maybe a 6 again today. But I could understand if you guys say 7. So you have to let me know afterwards what you think. Let's have a look at Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, I thought, was helped out a lot today and was able to play his own game. Did he get up and down as much as Dallo did on the right? Probably not. He seemed to come about 2/3 and never really get past. Now, whether that is a tactic just to save his legs so he doesn't have to sprint back, but didn't really give away the ball, play some nice passes. But apart from that, no one really caused him any problems out wide. Made a couple of good blocks in the box. And again, I'll probably give him a 6. The reason I'm giving the whole defence a 6, and just sort of explain that, I don't think Villa really caused us that many problems at the back. But at the same time, if they don't cause us problems, I think it's wrong to give them a high rating. If they're not coming at that player, you can't just go, well, it was a 7 or it was an 8 today. Why? Well, he won everything. Well, he only had to make 2 tackles. For me, that's not how it works. So I'll give the defence a solid 6 across the line, I think. And I think that's, for me, fair. What we got here, first half, Shaw was poor. Second half, improved. No legs anymore. And that's it. If we have to save his energy on making those runs and we can stay compact and do that, then great. And it's also a diagonal option for balls out from the back, or even if Cunha goes and he holds the ball up, it's a 20-yard pass backwards without any pressure on it to retain the ball. And that's absolutely fine. Casemiro for me today. I thought he was great on the ball, linked up well, got fouled plenty of times, holding on to the ball. Obviously got us the goal. What a header. Straight across the goal, bottom corner, literally striking the post on the way in. I don't know how such a small guy pops up in the box and scores so many headers from set pieces. It's a massive shame, obviously, he's going to go. I know there's pros and cons with Casemiro, and the only real con is his legs. The guy gives everything, and today was his kind of game. Up against, I thought he was going to be against Luis for the whole game, obviously international compadre, but that didn't happen quite how I saw it in the preview. Quite a few players came in. I wasn't expecting McGinn to start, but having McGinn and Unana in there with Bendia, I thought Casemiro just rotated with Kobe Mainu, and for me, I thought Casemiro had a great game. I'm going to actually give him a solid 8. Now, I know you're thinking, hang on, 6 is for the defence, 8 for Casemiro. I think the way Casemiro played today was one of the reasons the defence didn't have to do so much. I thought he was back when he needed to be, crept forward and just kept the ball ticking and just kept really good control of the game. Um, so yeah, solid 8 for me for Casemiro. Like I said, for at one point I thought he was going to probably take man of the match, and I would have been happy to walk away with a 1-0 win. Kobe Mainu. Kobe Mainu. I was critical of him probably in the preview. I thought he dropped off a bit. Today, he just done what needed to be done. Beat a couple of players, played the right passes, um, didn't give the ball away. Like I say, dovetailed with Casemiro perfectly. Won his battles, especially up against Onana. He took the ball off him a lot, got in front of him, didn't let Onana manhandle him. And caused Bundia plenty of problems. Didn't leave him one-on-one with Casemiro at all. So 7. I think a solid 7 for him today. Mainu, literally, that's the kind of Mainu we need. And I think he knows we're getting to the business part now where people are going to be looking to replace him alongside Casemiro, potentially, if you're looking at the whole overhaul of the midfield, or at least bringing someone in to challenge. So he needs to step up his game. And if he's got his sights on that England international call-up, then he's got to play. And today he did that. He turned up, he played, and he done his job. Which side do we start? Let's start on the right. Let's start with Ahmad today. Overall, I thought Ahmad had a great game. Pros, got the ball, looked after it, linked up really well. For the first, let's say, 60 minutes, worked really hard up and down the right. I felt he started to tire after 60 minutes, and I felt he became more selfish as the goals went in, and he started looking for something for himself, like he wanted a moment. And I get that. Anyone who's played football with creative like dribblers, things like that, they want their own moments. But Ahmad, I thought, got the ball, moved it well, linked up brilliantly with Mbumo. There's some good one-touch, two-touch passing, some really good balls into the box. When he was actually took it sort of only one touch and played and didn't slow the play down and look to play backwards. So for me, 7 for Ahmad. Come back in, had a point to prove, which is good for someone of his age. You know, that being dropped. Okay, you're back in the starting lineup today. What are you going to do? I've dropped Sesko for you, so what are you going to give me? And I think he answered Carrick with that. So let's flip back over to the left-hand side and let's go for Cunha. Cunha today, I thought probably one of his best games. Absolutely one of his best games. I thought he stayed more disciplined out wide on the left. I thought that his ball carrying when he needed to carry it was right. When he needed to turn around, stop and hold that ball and get the foul, he did that. So they've obviously been coaching him well. Maybe Dorgu is close to being back. So he knows that, hey, I've got to show up now. I can't just get away with murder. I've got to do what Dorgu would do, and then I've got to be me on top of that. And that's a prime thing for a lot of players to do. And I thought, for me, Cunha, 7. Absolute 7. His goal could have pushed him to an 8, but there was a few other instances where you thought, come on, mate, you can do a little bit better there. But I mean, he's pushing an 8. He is pushing an 8. Do you know what? Fuck it. Let's give him an 8. Let's give him an 8 because if I'm thinking 8, that's where my heart is, isn't it? So he had a great game. His finish was calm. We could have done with Sesko finishing in the same way when Sesko got through for I don't know what was a cross or a shot. But if you know what I'm talking about, Cunha slides his away, and we could have done that with that from Sesko, and that would have been an unreal finish. Mbumo, what a shift! What a shift that guy put back in straight through the middle again today. For me, I struggle calling him Mbumo. I'd rather just call him Brian. I don't really get why we dropped Sesko today. But right now, it was the right choice, right? We won the game. and Bumo done the job. He pushed the defence back. He kept making the runs. And if it wasn't for his penetrating run, which you would have seen me on review shows, you would see me on preview shows where I'm talking about we need to make second and third man runs. And that was a prime example today. There was a lot of examples. You guys might not believe about my coaching background. You guys might not believe half the stuff that comes out of my mouth. But today, it showed it. Our high press wasn't working. Bruno dropped in. Um, and Bumo ran offside. The defence dropped. Cunha ran. Bruno plays him in. And that's how Cunha gets his goal. Because the defence drops, he couldn't be offside. He's clean through on goal. Those tiny little things are so simple. And we need to see more of it. And what Mbeumo gave us there today with those little runs in between the centre-backs, just occupying the centre-back so we could pick up the second ball, was brilliant. And I can't fault him. It was a proper shift. And at one point in the first half, when I've seen him sprint from the halfway line back to our 18-yard box to make the tackle, to block a chance for them, you know, not many strikers would do that. And that's what he gives us. So it's all about the team. And I think we knew that when we bought Mbeumo. And today, in such an important game, a must-win game, we needed that today. So that's the starting 11. And Mbeumo, for me, I'm giving a 7. Okay? So we've got currently Casemiro on an 8. We've got Mbeumo on a 7. We've got Cunha on an 8. There's only one man left in that starting 11 to talk about. And that is El Capitano today. And I will call him El Capitano today because I thought he did a great job leading. There was less whinging. There was questions being asked. He realised once he was getting caught out, he didn't press the second centre back. They let him have it, and he sat back in. Bruno Fernandes, straight in 9. I'm giving him a 9 today, guys. I literally don't know what I could have asked for him better today to give him a 10, but probably the goal. I think Bruno didn't put a foot wrong. Obviously, corner. There you go. Bang. Have that, Casemiro, on your head. Went short for the first time. The last few, we all expect it to go Harry Maguire. They pulled them all back. Sets up the first goal. Then that pass for Cunha. Seeing that Mbeumo was offside, like I just said. Seeing that Cunha would now be perfectly onside when he went with the legs to open up. And he just waits it perfectly. And then what should have been his hat-trick of setups, or the one for Sesko after Sesko came on, where he plays him in. And it was just like, I think he tried to square it for Ahmad. I really hope he did. And he wasn't just trying to do a knuckleball with his foot into the far corner. But, I thought Bruno was superb. Tackling, he was in there today, dictating the play. Like I say, he dropped when we needed to drop. He calmed the ball down. His passing today. Normally, we all know his passing over 20, 30, 40 yards is spot on. But his passing today over 5 yards was just right. It was the right way to pass. I think like everyone gives away a ball here and there, but Bruno's 5 yard passing, he tends to cushion it a little bit too much, cushion it into someone's pass, and it gets robbed. But today that wasn't the case. I thought he was absolutely superb. And like I say, tip my hat. Bruno Fernandes, 9 out of 10. So, for all those who think I hate Bruno, when a guy does his job, he's one of the best in the world. And today he did his job. So what we got here, that's just the 11 covered. Dan is just saying Bruno stars. Coached the team on the pitch. He did, but he didn't overcoach them. He wasn't telling everyone where they had to be and not concentrating on his own game today, which, again, if the less information you need to give someone, the quicker and easier it is to pass it on. So if they're taking it in and you just need to tweak it, even better. The pass was so good as across to Sesko a few weeks ago. Yeah, absolutely. It was. And it is sometimes you can start it out wide and just fade it in. So you can put a little bit more power onto it. It's not going to run through. We see too many players in the United shirt play a straight ball when we're trying to play people in. And that has to be so spot on. But a little bit of bend on it makes all the difference. Substitutions, guys. Substitutions. Well, we only made the 2. We only made the 2 today. And I was a little bit dubious about that. I've got to be honest. I was thinking, well, we're playing Friday night. We probably should make all 5 subs. We're up to what I would call all bar one player in Tyler Fredrickson, first team players on the bench. But it was a cagey game. We were lucky to get out there 3-1 because, let's be fair, right at the end there, which is probably going to be the comedy moment of the weekend, Philip should have got a second, but thanks for Santos, I think it was, and Luis arguing over who was going to score, we got away with one. But when Casemiro went off 91st minute, Ugarte came on and they held up 8 minutes. I'm going to tell you now, my heart was in my mouth, okay? I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Just don't make a mistake. Just don't get caught too far forward. Just sit in with Kobe. Just be solid. And he was. There was a dodgy pass from Ahmad on the edge of our box after Ugarte tried to force it out. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, Ugate's done the right thing. And Ahmad messed it up. But, you know, we got a little bit panic stations. But Ugarte got on. It's another 90 minutes by Casemiro. Ugarte comes on. Bit of physical strength, sees it out. And then obviously Sesko came on before that, 15 minutes to go. And old Big Ben, the clock strikes 12 and he bangs one in again. Because let's be fair, he got dropped. Who out there actually thought he deserved to be dropped? Out of the front three from the last game against Newcastle, I don't think Sesko deserved to be dropped. And then I'm looking at us chucking the ball in the box going, you realise Sesko isn't playing, right? And he must be sitting there going, for fuck's sake, get me on, the balls are coming in. That guy got on, and I've been critical of Sesko. In the right way, I will defend myself. You don't have to defend me. Where I'm saying, I feel like he's gaining that killer instinct at Old Trafford now. And again, that was another killer. He didn't have time for a second touch. One touch, spin, and just smash it because the deflection was going to put it anywhere. And it did. Loops in. I think it was off of Nana. Front post. Keeper's going the other way. Okay. We got a little bit lucky. Maybe last year, Dallo gets flagged offside, even though keeper was going the opposite way. But Sesko gets his goal. You know, how many is that for him now? Eight in the league for him, heading towards double figures. He'll get that 10 before the end of the season. I have no doubt on that. But for me, Sesko, come on. And it's 15 minutes and he gets a goal. I'm sorry, that's a 7. You've got 15 minutes. Really, in 15 minutes, you're saying, do your job. Ugarte, done his job. Solid 6. Sesko, 7. You've got a goal in 15 minutes. There's guys out there who've had, 75 minutes and didn't score up top in Mbumo and that. So, yeah, Sesko, mate, 7. Absolute 7. Keep up that hard work because I genuinely believe he should be starting. But at the same time, it's very hard to say who should. And Mbumo hasn't scored in 4 games now. Worrying. Ahmad hardly scored all season. Cunha got a goal today. Sesko's got a goal today. Casemiro's getting goals. So as long as we're scoring and Carrick's winning games, we'll take Carrick's right decisions. So that's where we're at with the player ratings today. I think Michael Carrick himself, I'm going to say 8 out of 10. I'm going to give Michael Carrick an 8 out of 10 because I thought he had it wrong. We've got a 3-1 win. I thought he made the wrong call in dropping Sesko. We got a 3-1 win. I thought for Aiden Heaven should have been at the back and not Euro. Euro's had a good game. We've got a 3-1 win. So, what has the guy done wrong? Absolutely nothing. The only thing that I am going to give a downside, and let's be fair, if you've seen it, you're going to know what I'm talking about. If you're going to watch this after seeing highlights, good luck. But the old dancing on the sidelines, a bit of dad dancing, can we not see that again? Please. Please, no more dad dancing on the sideline. Give it a fist pump. Run into the dugout. But a bit of dad dancing, no one wants to see that. But I love that passion. I love that. He went to. I'm just glad it's not his goal celebration. We got the big Ben jump. We got the Cunha on the surfboard. We got Casemiro giving bloody 6-7 to his kids. And I'll tell you what, mate, that touches my heart because pointing up there 6-7. I'm not sure if it's for his daughter or his son. Absolutely love it. But that's where the player ratings are, guys. I'm going to do a review show on Tuesday night. I'll be on Tactical Devils tomorrow night. at 9 o'clock. My review show Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. We will do a preview show Wednesday night for Friday night's game, because I've got my own team to take on Thursdays. We'll go early for the preview show because of the Champions League games, probably about 7, half 7. Hope to see you all there. If you've watched this all the way through, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications, get them on, turn that bell right on, all notifications. It's not going to harm you. I'm not spamming content free a day. Please give this a thumbs up, and I will catch you, like I say, Tuesday night for the review show, where we will break down everything that went right and the few little things that might have gone wrong today. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you later.